Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another Gotham City update. In the last update, we created the two cranes here and really happy with how they've come out. I think it's really transformed the docks and made it look a lot better than the small ones that I had originally on the front of the Falcone Warehouse. What I want to turn my attention to now is the next warehouse, which is going to be going in this spot here. So I just need to work out how big it's going to be, how tall it's going to be, and go from there. Now, I know I haven't got the right bricks for doing the exact style I want to do. However, what I can do is build it using what I have got and then just swap the bricks over at a later date. So without further ado, let's get the bricks and plates out and let's get started. And here is the start of the warehouse, and really happy with the colours, how it's come out. I am going to be changing quite a few features or details on this build, but this is giving me a good idea of what bricks I'm going to need to order in. First of all, I like the olive green colour, or at least I do on the table. I'm hoping that it goes well enough with the other builds that are on the table at present. But one thing I am going to do is change these over to just plain bricks, so you haven't got the lines going across. These are the masonry bricks. I did originally have them facing forward, then I turned them round because I didn't like the brick effect on here, and I think the smooth effect will look better. And then I'll just change out a couple of different ones and use sort of like the plate technique that I've done on the back there. Another thing I want to do is change these plates and jumper plates out of the bottom to black. I think that'll look better as well. And the doors, I'm thinking about using the garage doors like you get on the fire stations, that sort of style. So if I do, then I need to change these to the modified bricks, which will also mean I have to lose this line, or certainly lose the dark bluish grey line on the door frame, as I don't believe they do a plate which allows you to have the runners on there. Now if I do that, then obviously I'm going to need to have the bricks that go back as well, so that means I will need to do a little bit of alteration inside here. Now at the moment it is totally empty, as you can see. It's just so I can place this on the docks like I have with my other buildings. Now the door there, I'm thinking about having some steps that lead up, and then I'll have an office on the top here, and then there'll be a door which will lead out to a platform on the side, on the front here, sorry, and then that'll be where people can look down over the docks. On the front here, I'm considering making this the main Falcone warehouse, so I'm wondering whether I can fit Falcone Shipping along the front. So again, plenty of things I need to work out what the best design is, but I'm glad I'm doing it this way because it means I can order in just the bricks I need rather than ordering in stuff I think I need and then I don't end up needing it. But anyway, let's move this over to the docks and see how it looks. And there is the building all in place. Love the size. The colour, I think, looks absolutely fine with what else is on the table here. But the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to rearrange all of the structures here. I think that The good thing is, due to the way that I built this, it's very easy to do. I just need to move tiles around and bits like that, and obviously the grooves on the floor there, but it's not a massive job. So I'm just going to rearrange them and see how they look. I'm thinking that if I do have this as Falcone Shipping on the front there, it might be better to have that in the centre of the three. I'm thinking of having the other one that's currently got Falcone with the 1 and 2 on it down this end and putting this down the far end. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a play with them, see what I can come up with, and I'll check back in once I've done so. And here we have the warehouses in a very slightly different order. I've just swapped these two around basically. The Falcone warehouse down the end there, I did put that one here, however it didn't quite fit. I meant I had to move that up, which was then obstructing the road. So yeah, it was just a case of swapping these two over. Now I'm going to leave these buildings in this position for a couple of days and just have a good think about it, because I need to pull up all of the tiles on here yet again to fit the tracks in for the bottom of the cranes there once I get that side of it sorted out. But also I need to do the same for the runners for the doors for both this warehouse and the Falcone warehouse down the end there. So yeah, plenty to think about on that, but really liking how this has come along, and I do think it was the right decision to put another warehouse down here as opposed to the fun house and the roller coaster. I think that's going to look a lot better just behind there, because it is still going to be on the waterfront. What I'm going to do now is have a look and see whether or not I can fit Falcone Shipping on this warehouse just here. And whilst I'm doing the lettering, I'm also going to do the Gotham dock sign and change it over to Gotham Harbour and see how that comes out. And here we have Gotham Harbour, the first attempt at writing it in Snot Writing. And I've obviously gone for the US spelling of harbour as opposed to the English version. But I'm not that happy with the R, and I'm not that happy with the B either. I just don't think they look that great. And the M could be better as well. So I am going to carry on experimenting with Snot Writing techniques. I'm going to leave this as it is and put it back in the city. However, once I've found a technique that I'm a lot happy with, then I will change this over. Now, I want to put Gotham Shipping on here, and I'm thinking this is a sort of like size font I'm going to have to use in order to fit it along there. So I'm going to have a look at it, see how that comes out, and yeah, we'll just take it from there. Anyway, let's move this back to the city and let's start experimenting with the Falcone Shipping. And here we have the Falcone Shipping sign, and it was a lot easier doing it with the plates being 4 studs high as opposed to the 2. The ends are proving quite tricky. They're really, I think they're a fraction too big for the gap that they're going in, so it is trying to make things just move just a fraction. And down this end, it's actually looking like it's the gap's too much on there, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. On the end here, you can see it's not quite flush. It just overlaps a little bit. However, I'm hoping that once I've put it into this section just here, the bricks either end will help to force it all into place. So what I want to do now is remove these parts here that I've put in there, make a ledge for the Falcone sign to go into it, and I want to have it so it's 1 stud back. And fingers crossed, we'll be able to fit it in there and all the problems will disappear. And there is the Falcone Shipping sign built into the warehouse there. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether I like the look of that at the moment. There's something about it. It's not quite in the style that I'm looking for, I don't think. And I don't know whether it's because I put the slopes and inverted slopes either end on there, whether it's these parts on there, whether it's the fact that it steps out a little bit. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a think about it. It might even be the colour of the font on there. Maybe that needs to be a different colour. I do want to put an office on the top here. However, I'm not sure, again, whether or not that's going to look right. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a look, I think, over the next few days at different images online. Have a little bit of a look inside the Arkham game again and just see if there's any buildings there that give me any inspiration, even sort of like how the signage looks and things like that. Obviously, I'm very restricted with the fonts that I can do, but how it's actually presented onto the buildings that I can obviously look at a little bit further. Anyway, let's move this over to the docks again and just see how it looks now. And here is the warehouse on the docks now, and I think I'm working out what I don't like about the building, and I think it is the actual doors. I think they are potentially too tall by 1 or 2 bricks, but also they're not wide enough. I think they need to be a little bit wider. Now, if I do make them wider, it means I won't be able to use the garage rails, the garage doors. that you get in the fire station. So I will need to find a new door design to go on that, but I don't think that's the end of the world. One of the problems with the garage doors at the moment are the colours that they actually produce them in. There's not a great selection to choose from, so maybe going over to a brick built door will be a better option. And I've measured the gap where the warehouse is going on the table, and I've got an actual 4 studs more available to play with. So I'm going to extend the building by 4 studs. I'm going to remove this row of bricks just here as well, and then that's going to enable me to extend each of the entrances by 2 studs. So I think that's going to work out quite well. I've also found out all of these plates, tiles, there's some cheese wedges there and some curved slopes. So I'm going to see if there's any kind of snot technique I can use using these pieces to give me the details I want to attain here without having to wait to order in some of the olive green bricks. So these have been extended by the 2 studs as mentioned, and obviously this part has been reduced. What I need to do now is put the tiles and plates on all of the snot bricks just to give the colour into the build, and then I'm going to start working on the Falcone shipping sign on the top there. I'm not 100% happy with the previous version, so I just want to experiment a little bit more with that. And the other thing I need to do is put some stairs in going up here, which will lead to the office above. And here is the revised Falcone Shipping Warehouse, and I'm so much happier now with the overall look of this. It's amazing just by changing these plates out of the bottom from the dark bluish grey to the black. And again, with this section here, I'm so happy with how this has come out. And it was all because I just happened to find the plates and the cheese wedges and the tiles in the olive green colour. So it means I don't have to order in the bricks now. I can get this building finished that much quicker. And I think this looks a lot better than just having plain bricks that were stepped back. It's just got that little bit more character to it. A lot happier with the Falcone shipping sign as well. Shrinking it down to 2 studs as opposed to the 4 that it was previously. I think works a lot better. Now next week, I'm going to be putting the roof section on here and then building the office, which will be going on top of that. And I've left that part unplated there, as that's the bit where I want it, where if anybody comes out of the office they can look down onto the docks. And obviously I need to still put the stairs in there as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching, bye, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.